The world of video games is one that many of us hold dear. It's a realm where imagination meets technology, creating experiences that are both interactive and deeply personal. For many, these digital adventures are more than just a pastime. They are a significant part of our lives, shaping our childhoods and influencing our perspectives. For those who grew up in the 80s and 90s, the mere mention of a classic console can evoke a flood of memories. These were the golden years of gaming, a time when innovation was at its peak, and every new release brought something fresh and exciting to the table. The tactile feel of the controllers, the distinctive sounds of the games booting up, and the vibrant, pixelated graphics all contribute to a sense of nostalgia that is hard to replicate. From the first time we tackled Super Mario Bros. On the NES to the thrill of Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis, these experiences are etched into our collective consciousness. These games were more than just entertainment. They were milestones in our lives. Each level completed, each boss defeated, and each high score achieved was a testament to our growing skills and determination. These moments are not just memories, they are a part of who we are. Video games, once simple pixels on a screen, have evolved into complex, immersive worlds that captivate millions. The advancements in technology have allowed developers to create experiences that are more realistic, more detailed, and more engaging than ever before. From the expansive open worlds of modern RPGs to the intricate mechanics of competitive esports, the gaming landscape has transformed dramatically. But as we marvel at these advancements, it's crucial to reflect on whether the essence of what made gaming magical has been lost along the way. Have we traded the simplicity and charm of older games for the complexity and realism of modern titles? Is the sense of wonder and discovery still present, or has it been overshadowed by the pursuit of technical perfection and commercial success? However, diving deep into our gaming past isn't merely an exercise in nostalgia. It's an opportunity to understand the roots of our passion and to appreciate the journey that the industry has taken. By revisiting these classic titles, we can gain insights into the creative processes and design philosophies that shape them. We can also recognize the impact they had on the industry and on us as players. It's a vital lens through which we can critically evaluate the current state of the video game industry. By comparing the past with the present, we can identify the strengths and weaknesses of modern games. We can ask important questions about the direction the industry is heading and consider what changes might be necessary to ensure that gaming remains a vibrant and fulfilling medium. The simplicity and charm of older games often stand in stark contrast to today's offerings, which can sometimes feel like they are more about profit than passion. The rise of microtransactions, downloadable content, and live service models has changed the way games are developed and monetized. While these innovations have brought new opportunities and revenue streams, they have also raised concerns about the impact on game quality and player experience. This decline in quality is a topic of much debate among gamers and industry experts alike. Some argue that the focus on monetization has led to a decrease in the overall quality of games, with developers prioritizing profit over creativity and innovation. Others believe that the industry is simply evolving and that these changes are necessary to keep up with the demands of a growing and diverse player base. As we embark on this exploration, we'll uncover the various facets contributing to the perceived decline in modern video games. We'll look at the impact of corporate influence, the pressures of meeting deadlines, and the challenges of maintaining a balance between artistic vision and commercial viability. We'll also consider the role of the gaming community in shaping the industry and holding developers accountable. We will juxtapose our cherished memories of past games with the contemporary gaming landscape, scrutinizing elements such as pricing, narrative consistency, release frequency, critical reception, and industry stability. By examining these factors, we can gain a deeper understanding of the changes that have taken place and the reasons behind them. We can also identify areas where the industry has excelled and where it has fallen short. The intention is not to denigrate the hard work of today's developers, but to ignite a conversation about how we can recapture the magic that once defined this beloved medium. Developers today face immense challenges, from the technical demands of creating cutting-edge games to the pressures of meeting player expectations. By acknowledging these challenges, we can foster a more supportive and constructive dialogue about the future of gaming. Join us on this journey as we pull back the curtain on the video game industry's evolution. We'll explore the milestones that have shaped the industry, from the early days of arcade games to the rise of home consoles and the advent of online gaming. We'll also look at the cultural and societal impact of video games, and how they have influenced and been influenced by the world around them. We'll aim to understand the complexities and pressures that developers face today, while advocating for a return to the core values that made gaming a universally cherished hobby. These values include creativity, innovation, and a commitment to delivering memorable and meaningful experiences. By focusing on these principles, we can help ensure that the future of gaming is as bright and exciting as its past. Let's dive into this deep and engaging discussion about the decline of modern video games. Together, we'll explore the reasons behind this trend and consider what can be done to reverse it. We'll hear from industry experts, developers, and players, and we'll examine case studies of games that have succeeded and those that have failed. Through this exploration, we hope to gain a clearer understanding of the current state of the industry and to inspire a renewed appreciation for the art and craft of video game development. The period between the late 80s and early 2000s is often referred to as the golden age of video games. This era was marked by significant technological advancements and an explosion of creativity. Developers were pushing the boundaries of what was possible, not just technically, but also creatively. Games like The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Street Fighter set new standards for storytelling, graphics, and gameplay mechanics. These titles didn't merely entertain, they left a lasting impact on the culture and the industry. Back then, the gaming industry was less saturated, allowing for a more focused and deliberate development process. Developers had the time and the freedom to polish their games, ensuring that each release was a labor of love. This is not to say that there were no financial pressures or deadlines, but the emphasis was often more on creating a memorable experience than on maximizing profits. The result was a series of games that were not only innovative, but also deeply resonant with players. Community played a significant role during this era. Gamers would gather at arcades, swap tips at school, and even write letters to gaming magazines, creating a sense of camaraderie that transcended the screen. This communal aspect of gaming fostered a sense of belonging and shared experience that many feel is missing in today's fragmented and often toxic online gaming culture. The Golden Age was not just about the games themselves, but also about the vibrant, interconnected community that surrounded them. As we reflect on this Golden Age, it's important to recognize that it wasn't perfect. Technical limitations often constrained developers, and the industry was still finding its footing in many ways. However, the passion and creativity that defined this period offer valuable lessons for today's developers. By looking back, we can find inspiration and perhaps a roadmap to recapturing some of that lost magic in the current landscape. Fast forward to today, and the video game industry has undergone a seismic shift. From the early days of pixelated graphics and simple gameplay mechanics, we have now entered an era where video games are not just a form of entertainment, but a cultural phenomenon. The evolution has been nothing short of extraordinary, with each passing year bringing new innovations and pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the digital realm. With cutting-edge graphics, sophisticated storylines, and expansive open worlds, modern games are technological marvels. The level of detail and realism that can be achieved today is astounding. High-definition textures, realistic physics, and advanced artificial intelligence have transformed the gaming experience into something that can rival even the most high-budget Hollywood movies. The immersion is so deep that players can lose themselves for hours, exploring vast landscapes and engaging in complex narratives. However, alongside these advancements, there are noticeable cracks in the facade. The rapid pace of technological progress has brought its own set of challenges. Developers are under immense pressure to keep up with the latest trends and technologies, often leading to crunch periods where employees work long hours to meet deadlines. This has raised concerns about the sustainability of such practices and the impact on the mental health of those involved in game development. Many gamers and critics argue that the soul of video gaming has been overshadowed by corporate interests and profit-driven motives. The focus has shifted from creating unique and engaging experiences to maximizing revenue through various monetization strategies. This has led to a growing sentiment that the industry is losing its creative edge, with many games feeling more like products designed to generate profit rather than works of art. The rise of microtransactions, downloadable content, DLC, and the relentless push for sequels have left many feeling disillusioned. Microtransactions in particular have been a point of contention, with players feeling that they are being nickel and dimed for content that should have been included in the base game. DLCs, while offering additional content, often feel like they are being used to milk more money from players rather than genuinely expanding the game. The push for sequels has also led to a lack of innovation, with many franchises feeling stale and repetitive. One of the most striking changes is the sheer scale of the industry. What was once a niche hobby has now become a global powerhouse, with revenues surpassing those of the film and music industries combined. The reach of video games is unprecedented, with millions of players around the world engaging in this form of entertainment. This growth has brought with it both opportunities and challenges, as the industry grapples with its newfound status and the responsibilities that come with it. Video games are now a multi-billion-dollar market, dwarfing the early days in both scope and revenue. The expansion has been fueled by advancements in technology, the rise of mobile gaming, and the increasing popularity of esports. Mobile gaming in particular has opened up new avenues for growth, reaching audiences that traditional console and PC games could not. Esports has also become a significant part of the industry, with professional players and teams competing in tournaments for substantial prize money. This growth has brought with it increased pressure on developers and publishers to deliver hits that can justify their massive budgets. The stakes are higher than ever, with millions of dollars on the line for each new release. This has led to a risk-averse approach, with many companies opting for tried-and-true formulas rather than taking chances on innovative ideas. The result is a market saturated with sequels, remakes, and games that follow a similar blueprint, leaving little room for creativity and experimentation. The result is often a focus on safe, formulaic games designed to appeal to the broadest possible audience, rather than taking risks on more innovative, niche projects. This has led to a homogenization of the gaming landscape, where many titles feel interchangeable and lack the distinctiveness that once defined the medium. While there are still indie developers pushing the boundaries and creating unique experiences, they often struggle to gain the same level of attention and success as their mainstream counterparts. Moreover, the cultural landscape has shifted. Gaming is no longer a niche hobby, but a mainstream form of entertainment. This shift has brought with it a new level of recognition and legitimacy, with video games being acknowledged as a significant cultural force. However, it has also led to a change in the way games are perceived and consumed. The focus has shifted from the experience of playing to the spectacle of watching, with platforms like Twitch and YouTube becoming central to the gaming ecosystem. I will say again, gaming is no longer a niche hobby, but a mainstream form of entertainment. This has its positives, such as increased recognition and legitimacy for the medium, but it also means that games are often designed with mass appeal in mind. The rise of streaming and content creation has also changed the way games are marketed and consumed, with influencers and content creators playing a significant role in shaping public perception. This has led to a more commercialized and commodified gaming culture, where the focus is often on what will generate the most views and engagement rather than what will provide the most meaningful experience. This can lead to a dilution of the unique creative visions that made earlier games so special. The push for photorealistic graphics and expansive open worlds can sometimes come at the expense of gameplay and narrative depth. While the visual and technical achievements are impressive, they can overshadow the core elements that make a game truly engaging. The balance between graphics and gameplay is a delicate one, and finding the right equilibrium is a challenge that many developers continue to grapple with. The emphasis on visual fidelity can sometimes lead to a neglect of other important aspects, such as storytelling, character development, and innovative gameplay mechanics. Another issue is the rise of live service games, which require continuous updates and monetization strategies to keep players engaged. These games are designed to be played over long periods, with new content and features being added regularly. While this model can create sustained engagement, it often leads to incomplete or rushed releases, with developers relying on post-launch patches to fix issues. This has become a common practice in the industry, with many games being released in a less-than-perfect state and gradually improved over time. This approach has its drawbacks, as players may feel frustrated with the initial quality of the game and lose trust in the developers. The reliance on post-launch patches can also lead to a perception that games are being released prematurely, with the expectation that they will be fixed later. This practice has eroded trust between developers and players, leading to a more skeptical and critical gaming community. Players are becoming increasingly wary of pre-ordering games or buying them at launch, preferring to wait and see if the game lives up to its promises. This has created a more cautious and discerning consumer base, which can be both a challenge and an opportunity for developers. Building and maintaining trust is crucial in this environment, and developers who prioritize transparency and communication are more likely to succeed, leading to a more skeptical and critical gaming community. Players are becoming increasingly vocal about their expectations and are quick to call out any perceived shortcomings. This has led to a more dynamic and interactive relationship between developers and players, with feedback being an essential part of the development process. While this can be challenging, it also provides an opportunity for developers to create games that truly resonate with their audience and build a loyal and engaged community. The modern gaming landscape is a complex and multifaceted space, marked by incredible advancements, but also significant challenges. The industry has come a long way, and the future holds even more potential for growth and innovation. As technology continues to evolve, so too will the possibilities for what games can achieve. However, it is essential to address the challenges and ensure that the industry remains sustainable and true to its creative roots. By finding a balance between commercial success and artistic integrity, the gaming industry can continue to thrive and inspire future generations of players and developers. As we dissect the modern gaming landscape, several key issues emerge that contribute to the perceived decline in quality. The gaming industry, once a bastion of innovation and creativity, now faces numerous challenges that threaten to undermine its progress. From rising costs to narrative inconsistencies, the problems are multifaceted and complex. Let's delve deeper into these issues to understand their origins and implications. One of the most prominent is the rise in game prices. Over the past decade, the cost of purchasing a new game has steadily increased, often leaving consumers feeling the pinch. This trend is not just a matter of inflation, but is also driven by the escalating expenses associated with game development. With development costs skyrocketing, publishers have passed these expenses on to consumers. The creation of a modern AA game involves a massive team of developers, artists, writers, and other professionals, all of whom require compensation. Additionally, the technology needed to produce cutting-edge graphics and immersive gameplay experiences is expensive. These factors contribute to the higher price tags we see today. The standard price for a new game has increased significantly, often accompanied by additional costs for DLCs and season passes. This model, while profitable for publishers, can be frustrating for players who feel they are being nickel and dimed. The base game may no longer provide a complete experience, with essential content locked behind additional paywalls. This financial burden can create heightened expectations that many games fail to meet, leading to widespread disappointment. When players invest a significant amount of money, they expect a polished, engaging experience. Unfortunately, not all games deliver on these promises, resulting in a sense of betrayal and frustration among the gaming community. Attacking the critical issue again about narrative inconsistency. Storytelling has always been a vital component of video games, providing context and emotional depth to the gameplay. However, in recent years, many games have struggled to maintain coherent and compelling narratives. While modern games often boast intricate storylines, they sometimes lack the cohesion and emotional resonance of their predecessors. This can be particularly jarring in games that prioritize graphics and technical achievements over narrative depth. Players may find themselves immersed in visually stunning worlds that ultimately feel hollow and unfulfilling. Pertaining to point that this can be attributed to various factors, including rushed production schedules, a focus on graphics over gameplay, and the involvement of multiple writers and designers who may not share a unified vision. The pressure to release games on tight deadlines often leads to compromised storytelling, with plot lines that feel disjointed or underdeveloped. The frequency of game releases has also become a double-edged sword, offering players a constant stream of new content to explore. However, This relentless pace can also have negative consequences. On one hand, the rapid release cycle keeps the market dynamic and exciting. Players always have something new to look forward to, and the industry remains vibrant and competitive. However, this constant churn can also lead to issues with quality control. On the other, it often leads to unfinished or unpolished games hitting the shelves. Developers may be forced to cut corners to meet release dates, resulting in games that are buggy, lack content, or require significant post-launch patches to fix. This practice not only frustrates players, but also damages the reputation of the developers and the industry as a whole. The reliance on post-launch patches can create a perception that games are being released in an incomplete state, with players essentially paying to be beta testers. When a game is released with numerous bugs and issues, it can lead to negative reviews and a loss of trust among the player base. This, in turn, can impact sales and the long-term success of the game. Lastly, the role of critics has evolved in ways that impact game development. In the past, reviews were predominantly found in gaming magazines and specialized websites, often written by passionate gamers who had a deep understanding of the medium. These critics provided valuable insights and helped shape public opinion. Their reviews were typically well-researched and offered a balanced perspective on the strengths and weaknesses of a game. Today, the influence of critics has expanded to include YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and social media influencers. While this democratization of criticism can be positive, it also means that reviews can be inconsistent and driven by trends rather than objective analysis. The rise of influencer culture has introduced new dynamics into the world of game reviews. While this democratization of criticism can be positive, it also means that reviews can be inconsistent and driven by trends rather than objective analysis. Influencers may prioritize entertainment value over in-depth critique, leading to reviews that are more about personality than substance. This can make it challenging for players to find reliable information about a game's quality. This can skew public perception and put undue pressure on developers to cater to popular opinion rather than staying true to their creative vision. The need to appeal to a broad audience can lead to compromises in game design, resulting in titles that lack originality and depth. Balancing creative vision with public perception is a delicate act that developers must navigate carefully. In light of the challenges facing the modern video game industry, it's essential to consider how we can reclaim the magic that once defined gaming. One approach is to prioritize quality over quantity. Developers need the time and resources to create polished, cohesive experiences that resonate with players. This may mean fewer releases, but with a higher standard of excellence, reminiscent of the golden age of gaming. By focusing on the core elements of gameplay, story, and character development, developers can create memorable experiences that stand the test of time. Moreover, there is a need for greater transparency and communication between developers and the gaming community. Open dialogues can build trust and foster a sense of collaboration, where player feedback is genuinely considered and incorporated into game development. This approach can help bridge the gap between corporate interests and the desires of the gaming community, leading to more satisfying and successful games. Innovation should also be encouraged, even if it means taking risks. The industry's growth has led to a focus on safe, formulaic games, but true innovation often comes from daring to try something new. By supporting indie developers and fostering creative freedom within larger studios, the industry can produce unique and groundbreaking titles that push the medium forward. The success of indie games like Undertale and Hollow Knight demonstrates that there is still a strong appetite for innovative, heartfelt projects. Finally, it's important to remember the role of the gaming community. The camaraderie and shared experiences that defined the early days of gaming can still be recaptured. Whether through local multiplayer games, online communities, or gaming conventions, fostering a sense of connection and mutual appreciation can enhance the overall gaming experience. By working together, developers and gamers can help ensure that the magic of video games is never truly lost. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this presentation, and please be sure like and subscribe at MC Mech Jones for more content.